All right. Welcome to the first episode of Staff Duty. I'm your Staff Duty Officer, Bree, and this is a veteran podcast, and it is an opportunity to document our veteran experiences. So we're going to talk about everything from how we got in, how we got out, and everything in between. I want to start out by establishing a baseline for those who may not be familiar with who is a veteran. A veteran is someone who raises their right hand and declares that they will defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And we often associate veterans with someone who maybe has served for about 20 years and made that 20-year commitment. But veterans are Americans who, regardless of the time on their contract, they have made a choice. So I want to say this: whether you've signed a 3-year contract, a 6-year contract, a 10-year contract, whether you've decided to serve indefinitely or until retirement, a veteran is a veteran, and courage is courage, and commitment and service is commitment and service. And so I hope that part of this podcast will be just bringing some respect back to our community, and bringing respect back to the fact that why we serve and for how long we serve is for different reasons, but it's still service all the same. So if you're researching how to join the Army, and let's say you want to know what to expect, well, this will be the podcast for you, because we're going to talk about it. And I'll say that from the moment that you join, you are tossed into experiential learning. You are going to learn. Like, experience is going to teach you something. So I want to first start by saying this. When you join, every person that joins the United States military or army, you're going to experience culture shock. It just comes with the territory. And you're probably going to experience some resistance from people who may not be familiar with our community from the outside. So you're going to have things both internally, the culture shock, and externally, the resistance to you joining. And I also want to say that people join for different reasons. But enough about that. Let's take a trip back to 2016 and look at the circumstances that caused me to enlist in the United States Army. So, it's 2015, and I recently returned from a short stint singing overseas. I sung opera, and it was really awesome. But at this point, I'm like 22, 23, and I'm trying to figure out what my next step in life is going to be. Okay? And I'm also trying to figure out, how am I going to pay for these gigs? How am I going to pay for these rehearsals? If you're not familiar with the classical world of singing and opera, it gets so expensive. Like, whether it's getting a pianist to help you practice your music, whether it's rehearsing in different languages, whether it's paying your audition fees, it just gets so expensive traveling to those different places. And you may win a competition, you may not. You have to really have a lot of love for it. So I'm 22, I'm 23, and also I'm from the city. Okay, I'm a city girl. And so 22, 23, and I don't have a license. So guys, let me know. Do you guys think that's kind of wild that I don't have a license at 22, 23? Or are you just like, do you just chalk it up to like, oh, you're from the city, it's okay, it's kind of normal. But anyway, 22, 23, no license. And anyways, I'm at home, and out of nowhere, it's like AOL. I get something in the mail, and it's from the government. And I'm like, Why is the government instant messaging me? And I know y'all think I'm lying. Like, no part of the government is IMing you, right? Okay, for those who remember instant messaging on AOL. And no, they really are. And it's a department and it's a bill. And if you know, you know. If you know, go ahead and put it in the comments what you know. But anyway, I decide, you know what? Let me just see who this is from. Of course, it's those student loans. Baby, those student loans, they are coming for me. And so, I'm about 2 years removed from college or something. And I just randomly get this bill. And it's like, you got to pay up. Okay. At this point, I had never checked my credit score. I just was out here living life, y'all, with just no real idea about financial management, bills coming in the mail. I'm just out here singing, thinking life is good. And I opened the bill up, and I remember in school, maybe I had like 3,000 one semester, 4,000 another, but I get this bill, and y'all, the bill is for $33,000. And I am freaking out. I'm losing it. I am like, God, what am I going to do? I am praying. I am in shock. I am thinking there's no way I can do this singing thing. Find a way to move out, get a car, get an apartment. I'm like, I don't know what to do. And so, and on a side note, I had also started kind of resenting singing. I had started to resent feeling like the only thing that I could do is sing. And so that's when I ended up calling a friend. You know how it goes. And so I called one of my really dear friends who, when we were in college, had done Army ROTC. And so they had recently commissioned. So I just called my friend to kind of, cry about life. This was a really good friend who I knew would listen to me. And when I go to call them on FaceTime, they are so excited. They're like, oh my gosh, Bree, like, let me show you my new apartment. And they show me the apartment, and I'm like, oh my God, wow. And I think that was the first time. This was also the first friend out of our friend group post-college that had just taken off automatically and done so well out of our friend group. Everybody else was just kind of figuring stuff out. It was real rocky and ratchet for the rest of us. But this one friend had it together. And so I was happy for this friend, but I was like, okay, what am I doing? Because all of us aren't doing the same thing after college. And so this friend is doing amazing things. They are stationed in Korea. Every other day they're posting on Instagram these really amazing pictures of them eating food that's still alive and moving on their plate. And I'm like, this looks amazing. And at this time that I'm talking to this friend about their experience with the Army, I'm also realizing that this isn't an opportunity that is somehow unattainable to me. Okay, like some things in life you have to have credentials for, background, experience, but the Army was something that I could do. I didn't have to have some specialty. I just had to work a little bit to be able to take on that opportunity. And so I had a degree. I didn't have the confidence to go straight into being an officer. And so 2016, I raised my right hand and I enlisted in the United States Army. So now it's 2016. I enlist and my Army birthday is coming up, which is really awesome. And also, I have an Army birthday that's coming up, and I just had a birthday, like my real birthday as well. But let me know, how long have you been in what Army birthday are you at? How old are you in the Army? And yeah, I want to hear about you and how you became a veteran. But that's my story of how I became a veteran. And I want to also add some respect back to the people with varying reasons for why they join. Okay? And I have a little list here of 3 reasons why I've seen commonly people decide to join. Okay. So the first reason is you're looking for an opportunity. You're trying to get it out the mud. That's number 1. Number 2, you're a legacy and you come from a long line of veterans. Or number 3, something in your life needs a change or a purpose. In my case, I checked all 3 boxes. I needed an opportunity to adult better. I was looking for purpose, something different from singing, and the military looked to provide that. And I knew a lot of veterans that were just thriving. And also, I came from a legacy of veterans. My father is a veteran. My grandfather was a veteran. My uncle served in Vietnam. Just a long line. And so, you kind of see these variations. And I'm really glad to say that I was the first woman to serve in my family and also the first officer. So definitely an opportunity to do something different in the Army and to put something different into your family legacy. So yeah, you'll see lots of variations. You'll see people who are using it to become citizens. You'll see it and bring their family from different countries. You'll meet people who are, they come from families that do politics, and so they have some veteran status in their background. And I want to also say this, on top of bringing respect back for however long you decide to serve, I also want to say that serving is honorable regardless of the reason why. So if it was like me and it was student loans, it's still honorable. If it was because you come from a legacy, it's honorable. If it's because you want to provide a better life for your family, it's honorable. Whatever your reason is. If you just need a new chance at life to get it right. Maybe the high school years were rough. Maybe college was a bit rough. You might not have finished college. You might have finished college by the hair of your chinny chin chin. Whatever the reason is, it's still honorable. And so anyways, now I want to tell y'all my story. So here we go. This is what you've been waiting for. All right. So let's go back to 2019. I'm about 2 or 3 years old in the Army. And I take my uniform into Zips. Now, if you're not familiar, we'll take a quick pause. If you're not familiar, Zips is a cleaners that at the time, I think they might have cleaned your stuff for $2 or something like that. It was really cheap. But it's a place, and I'm pretty sure the prices have gone up by now, but it was a really cheap place to get your dry cleaning done on the East Coast. And so I take my uniform in and I am feeling so proud, y'all. And if you've been to Zips, you already know you finna get a good deal. Okay? And I'm feeling so proud. Okay, so now play. We're gonna get back into it. I'm feeling so proud. I'm walking in with my uniform. And I tell the young man, he's a very young looking guy, probably close to my age. So it looks like he's in his 20s, has locks. He's working there at Zips, and he takes my uniform And he says, and I'm feeling all proud. Okay. I probably got like, what, 2 or 3 ribbons at this time. And what he tells me is, I like what you do. That's cool. And I'm like, yeah. I feel cool. But, where's he going with this? That can never be me. Okay, sir. Can I be honest with you? I didn't really come here for that. Like, I want us to be on the same team. Okay? You take the uniform and I pay for it. Like, it's teamwork. Like, sir, I really don't want to go there with you. You know, I didn't also expect this really. So, yeah. And at the time, I didn't really get into it with the guy. I was just like, okay, you know. But he went on to say that it was because he would never fight for a country, and he would never die for a country that wouldn't fight for him. And I could understand where he was coming from. I could understand why he would say that. But now I know what I would say to that young man. Even though I know he's not listening. This is what I would say. When you say that, you erase me and all the people that look like me, that came before us, that will come after us. And you erase the people who fought during the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, World Wars, Vietnam, and all of the people who fought so that we could have equal rights along with everyone else in this country. So I hope that you change whatever mental image you have of who you believe fought for you and what a veteran looks like. Because you're erasing you from the American history. We've always been here, regardless of our problems as a nation. And we'll always be here. And this is our land too. So that's all I have for this staff duty episode. Thank you, Battle Bestie, for joining me, for listening. Thank you for showing up 10 minutes prior to the shift, because I'm kind of ready to go. Okay.